Hey, hi, what is up, everyone? And welcome back to my channel. My name is Emily. Today, I am reacting to what might be the craziest book thing that's happened in the last year or so. Well, I'll be honest, I've been a little bit out of the loop, but when I heard about this event, if you want to call it that, blew my mind. So, if you haven't heard, for whatever reason, there was a book convention, book festival, book event, whatever you want to call it, called A Million Lives. And I've been watching a lot of videos about it. I've been doing some research on it. And honestly, there are no words. There are no words, but I'm going to be reacting to some videos today. I've never done a reaction video, so this is my first time. This might not be the best, but I really wanted to try it out. So please follow along with me. This is going to be It's going to be interesting. Everyone and their brother has made a video on this event, but I really just, yeah, you'll see. You'll see.
Okay, I keep trying to make this video, but I keep going on like a long rant about things, and it goes way too long, but I'm going to try to condense this down. Okay, so I did a Million Lives book festival yesterday and today, okay? So Friday and Saturday. I took a day off work, even, to do this. And it was the shittiest event I've ever done. It was the shittiest I've ever, done in terms of book sales. It was the shittiest event I've ever been to. It felt like Fyre Fest.
I'm laughing at the absolute absurdity of the situation. Sorry, I know we haven't even gotten there yet, but it's like, I know what's coming. It's like some people just shouldn't be event planners. And honestly, if you were going to take money from people, a significant portion of money from people, you better know what you're doing. And if you don't, then maybe it shouldn't be you running this event. And honestly, most of this is going to be hearsay and speculation. I wasn't there at the event. I don't know what went down, and I don't want to send any hate to anybody, of course. I'm not saying to go send death threats to somebody, not at all. And also, there's probably nuance to this situation that we don't know or understand. Point of the matter is, if you are going to charge people for an event with the understanding that most people don't have a lot of money to begin with, and they are going to give you a significant portion of money to be at an event, you better actually have an event anyway, I'm gonna be quiet. We're just gonna keep going.
That's what it is. Advertises something really awesome, and the actual execution of it was horrible. It was absolutely horrible. We were told there was going to be there had been over 600 some tickets sold. I did not see those people. There were more authors at their booths than there were attendees. And I'm not exaggerating. It was that bad. All right. It went a full day yesterday, till 5 o'clock yesterday. Right up until people were starting to arrive across the street for an O's game. So that was fun, trying to get out of the city during that. And today ended at 3 o'clock on a Saturday because they were putting on a ball, which apparently was in the same hall on a concrete floor. And people paid actual money to go to it. Apparently it was the saddest thing. Completely not what was advertised.
We'll get to the ball. We will get to the ball. But I think for me, one of the saddest things is that these are, correct me if I'm wrong, basically all indie authors who were coming to this event. And the idea is that you pay for a booth, you're going to meet a lot of bookish friends. This was advertised as, a place to meet authors and fellow readers and friends who have similar interests as you. So the idea is that you would pay money to have a booth. You would, in theory, meet a lot of interested readers, and they would buy your book. That is the assumption here. And for there to be more authors than attendees, it's you have now wasted everybody's time. These authors spent significant amount of money probably getting to the convention, paying to be at the convention, printing off these books, writing their books, publishing their books. If these are indie authors, all of this money is coming out of their pocket, and now they're out even more money. And I think that's just really sad.
Completely not what was advertised. At every point of the last 2 days, everything was up, not delivered on, or just half-assed. There was no water there. Even the vending machine at the top of the stairs, because, by the way, we were in the basement exhibit hall, had no water. Okay. There's no swag bags for people who paid to go to this. There's no badges or wristbands. And I didn't, like, I had an assigned table. And I show up and they're like, oh, there was an issue with seating, just pick an open table. Of which there were tons. When I picked my table, there was still one next to me that was open. And from where I sat, I could see 4 open tables. Just from where I sat.
So what people have been saying is that there were like maybe 30 people the first day, attendees, not authors. I hear there was like 120 authors or something like that. But then the second day, it like had maybe doubled to 60. So not great. Really not great at all.
Yesterday, I sold 3 books. 3. And 2 of those were to other authors.
That like actually really breaks my heart. I mean, and when you think about how much money probably went into getting to this event. So tickets for this event for authors, I think were $150. That's not cheap. Normally, you know, if you were going to have a lot of attendees there, you were going to sell some books, just make connections, potentially get future readers or future, you know, like networking. That's like why you go to these things, right? These sorts of things, it makes that investment worth it. And a lot of indie authors, you know, you have to put in money to get money back out. You have to invest in your authorship. And it's one of the biggest struggles with self-publishing because it's all coming from you. And so most indie authors also have a day job. And so like she said, you know, she had to take a day off of work. She didn't get paid for a day of work just to basically lose money, hundreds of dollars. I don't know if this author is local to Baltimore, which is where this convention took place. But if she wasn't, that's also travel costs and hotel costs and food costs. You know, these things pile up. And, you know, however many books she printed as well on top of everything else, you know, just to sell 3 books. And it breaks my heart, especially like when you know, authors are only making maybe $2 a book, you know, and then with printing costs and everything, you just end up losing a lot of money, and it breaks my heart. I know a lot of people are throwing around the word scam everywhere, and I'm not going to say that this was a scam. I'm not going to say that the person who ran this event was trying to scam indie authors out of their money, but the reality is that this did cause harm to a community of people who were already fairly vulnerable. So now I want to show a video showing off the ball. I understand that running events are very hard and they're very expensive, and renting out a convention hall is crazy, especially if you're not going to have multiple thousands of people coming to said event. But I feel like there were a lot of missteps in the process of this event happening that really could have, a lot of the issues that ended up happening really could have been avoided, but they were not. Next video is going to show you the convention hall, and yeah, but I'm just gonna let it speak for itself. You know, I'm gonna let it speak for itself.
That happened yesterday, the Fyre Fest of Booktok, and I haven't seen any mainstream press about it, and I'd really like to be able to help.
Look at that. Where are the decorations? Like, where is anything? Like, this doesn't look like even a party. It doesn't even look like a party, you know? Like, I've gone to kids' birthday parties that are more decorated than this. Not even a balloon? No flowers, nothing. Like, it's just a dark concrete room. It's dark. I mean, it can be dark in a ball. You can go to it doesn't have to be super bright in there, but it's like, it's not purposefully done. It looks like we're in a scary basement. It's terrifying.
Some of the authors affected, so let's talk about this. The event was called...
Oh my God, all of these the empty tables. Nobody is here. What is going on?
A Million Lives. It was in the making for about 1.5 years.
I planned my pregnancy.
I do want to say one thing. The dresses, absolute slay. Absolute slay. Everyone who did show up and wore those gowns, props. Y'all look great.
Around this event like a clown.
But it looks like it was thrown together in 45 minutes. This was advertised as a black tie ball, but that's not even the most egregious part.
People paid hundreds of dollars to go to this. Hundreds. I'm like actually blown away. Sorry. I cannot even fathom the disappointment.
For romance and fantasy authors, wherein the authors paid to be able to sell their books at this event.
Did you see the flower petals like in a line across the table? They didn't even have enough to like spread them out across the tables. They had individually placed flower petals. What is this?
But really, there were more authors than there were participants, and everyone lost money.
I lost nearly $3,000 on this trip.
I am now out about $2,000.
I didn't make table. I have never, in my career as an author, ever failed to make table.
It's so absurd. Again, I'm sorry. I'm not laughing at the victims of this situation. Like, I just like, I can't even like fathom like what goes through someone's head when you plan an event like this. And if you don't sell enough tickets, cancel the event. Like if you're not going to have enough money to put on an event that's worthwhile, you know, why were they at this crazy big venue? You know, and I think I saw somewhere that they sold like 600 tickets in total. So you have 600 tickets sold. Let's assume everybody shows up. Why would you rent out a convention space that is meant for probably thousands of people, like a minimum 1,000? You know, these convention centers are so expensive. We're talking it probably cost them tens of thousands of dollars just for a weekend. If you don't have enough money to pay off the hall that you are renting for this event, you need to find a better or different space or cancel your event, because otherwise stuff like this happens. People are out literal thousands of dollars because of your poor planning. And if this is your first time doing an event like this and you don't know how many tickets you're going to sell, you know, when you rent a space, you have your maximum number of participants. So those are the maximum amount of tickets that you can sell. You're not going to oversell your space if you know, like, okay, we're renting a hall that has maximum 1,000 people. We have 600 people coming. Great. You know, but this is a space that's meant for at least a couple thousand people in total and room for way more people than they ended up having. And it probably sucked up a lot of the money that went into this event, because it was just too big of a space. And honestly, it wasn't even like a nice enough space for this kind of event if you also can't afford decorations. Does that make sense? Like if you were to rent instead like a hotel hall or a banquet hall or a ballroom at a hotel, it's already like a nice space for that sort of event. You can still decorate it and make it look even better, but you're already going into a space that is fairly nice for this sort of thing. This is a concrete wall. Like, I'm sorry. I literally can't get over it. It blows my mind.
Security guard felt sorry for us and brought a shower speaker from his home, and there were a total of around 30 mostly authors that came to the ball.
Imagine throwing a ball and not having music. Like, what are you doing? And, you know, at least bring, you know, okay, I think I heard that like the DJ canceled or something. And, you know, so much of this is like, oh, I heard this. And it's because everyone, like, the person who organized this event really wasn't communicating well with anyone. So you're just kind of hearing, oh, she said this, oh, they said this, oh, they said this. And it's like, that is the majority of the information that you get about this event, because whoever was running the event was not communicating very well at all. Apparently the DJ canceled, right? And that happens. And of course, that's really unfortunate. But at the same time, you should have a backup in place. And also, at least bring your own speaker. Like, the security guard shouldn't be having to provide that, as like he felt so bad for the people who came to this event that was the only way to play music. Like, honestly, that just blows my mind. How did we get here? The next video we're going to watch is the organizer of the event with her apology video.
Hey everybody, I am wanting to issue a formal apology. I do understand that the ball tonight was not set up to standards. There were a lot of issues with getting set up and it was not set up well. I want to apologize. If you would like a refund, please contact me and I will issue a refund immediately.
So rumor has it that this video was made after an author went up to her and said, you need to start refunding people for this because this is insane. You have hundreds of authors here and almost no one attending the event. No one is making money. No one is having a good time. It wasn't organized well. The tables were not in the right place. You know, just literally anything that could go wrong went wrong with this event. And it is up to you as the organizer to make it right by offering refunds to people. And so, okay, so she offered refunds at the behest of someone, you know, that as someone who put together the event, you should be offering that up front. And then to say that they need to contact you first instead of just saying we're giving refunds. Like, I'm sorry, that is it is unacceptable. Like what she did. I can't even. This next video is from the same author that we watched in the beginning, talking again about the A Million Lives Book Festival.
This was an absolute terrible event. Nothing that was promised was delivered on. I was disorganized. There was nothing there, and nobody made any money because there were more authors there than there was actually attendees. We were told there was 600 tickets sold. I doubt more than 100 people, if that, came to the doors in 2 days. We were in a basement. There was panels that nobody knew where they were. They were never announced because there was no announcer. There was no MC for anything. There was no water or music or snacks that are supposed to be snacks for people. Swag bags, nothing. You know.
How do you have panels and not have an announcer or a stage or tables? I also saw that like there were people sitting on the ground for the panels because there were no chairs, there were no tables, there were no microphones. Like to announce this stuff, someone was like standing on a chair and just shouting into the void. I literally, it's so crazy. It is just, it's unacceptable. And I really hope every author or person who gave money to this event gets their money back because this is just actually ridiculous.
And it seems like the organizer literally tried to blame everybody but herself for this. And including blaming the convention center for losing things that they never lost. So this was literally the worst event I've ever done in my life. And I've been doing this for years now. I literally did an event 2 blocks from the convention center last weekend at Dreaming Dirty, and I sold 3 times the amount of books in 4 hours. And the 4-hour event that I did over 2 days collectively at A Million Lives. This was a scam. This is the Fyre Fest of book events. I would never recommend this to anybody. It was absolutely horrible.
I honestly have no words. And at the end of the day, you as the event organizer, you have to take the blame, whether or not it's your fault. And to blame everyone else around you, other authors, the convention center, you know, whatever, for your shortcomings is unacceptable. We're going to hear from some more authors about their experience at this event as well and just kind of see, what else went down.
I'm here to talk about the Fyre Festival of Bookish Events, aka A Million Lives Book Festival in Baltimore. I know a lot has already been said and a lot of people have already posted stuff. I'm just here to share my personal experience. But I have read through a lot of, and I was there both days, and I was interacting with people there and a lot of the authors. So the things they are saying, first and foremost, if you hear anything from the authors and the other vendors and the attendees, what they're telling you is correct. And I am here to add my personal experience, which is the same experience that they all had. I paid $150 for my ticket. That did not include the Lavender Ball, which if you've seen videos of that, I almost bought an add-on for that. But when I saw the cost of the add-on, which was like $108, I was like, I've already paid and spent so much money.
So it would be well over $250. 100 of that just for that crappy ball in the concrete basement with no decorations or music or food or drinks. What are you paying for at that point? Like, other than trying to pay back the convention space, which again, you just should have been in a different space. Because at that point, what is that $100 getting you? It's not getting you a better experience. It's not paying for food. It's not paying for photo, nothing. Like, what are you paying $100 for? Sorry, Suki has entered the room and it's being crazy.
Here, because I'm not from Baltimore, so I had to fly out here. I bought a plane ticket. I paid for a hotel on top of the event ticket. I wasn't paying another $100, and thank God I didn't, because as y'all have seen, the ball was a disaster. With my ticket, I got access for both days. I was supposed to get a swag bag. I was supposed to have like a badge for the weekend. I was supposed to have access to a content creation room, which literally ended up just being a blank room.
Oh my God. I literally, it just makes me, it's so absurd. It's honestly, you can't make this up. You can't make it up. What are you paying for? It's a blank room. What is a content creation room? Makes me think it's a place where you can make videos or something. You would think there would at least be like a sign for the event or like something with the name on it so that you could make videos that, like, I don't even know, but this is literally it's just a room. What are you paying for? And honestly, it's just, wow.
Like conference room in the Baltimore Convention Center. There was literally nothing in there. Like nothing. I have a picture of it. I'll put it somewhere in this video, but like there was nothing in that room. Yeah, I was supposed to get a lot of things as an attendee that I did not get. I did take a screen recording of the website and like the schedule and stuff. Now everything is detailed out on that website, but when even up to and during the event, the schedule on there did not specify, like it specified that there were going to be panels, but it didn't specify what panels were what days, at what times. I just would like happen to find out about them. The one panel I did attend, which was the BIPOC panel, it was literally me and one other attendee in the room, and then the other 3 people in the audience were the assistants to the 3 authors that were on the panel. That was it.
I'm trying to gather my thoughts. Why plan an event and do these panels if you're not going to give these people something that is worth their time and effort? Why are you wasting everybody's time and resources? And these are people who paid to be there. You know, like, they're not guests that have been flown in and paid a lot of money. There was no advertisement for it. Maybe there were people who would want to go to these panels, but they didn't even know they were happening. It's just another example of just why? What are you doing? What is happening? And what was the purpose of it all, other than to just waste everybody's time? Like, just cancel the event. I don't understand.
It felt like he had just used ChatGPT to like
you guys
figure
know how
out
I feel about ChatGPT.
questions to ask about diversity and BIPOC authors and BIPOC characters and stories. It was really bad. It was really, really bad. And like I said, it was insulting. The silver lining of all of this was that I got to meet some of my all-time favorite authors. While I was there, I got to chat with them. I mean, there was nobody there. There was literally nobody there. So I guess that was a bonus for me, that I got to spend like a really good chunk of time talking to some of my favorite authors, and I got to discover new authors. I got some really cool special edition books.
I just can't get over how bad the organization was for this. And the thing is, I know putting on events like this is incredibly difficult, and especially for just one person. And if you don't have a lot of experience doing these sorts of things and planning these sorts of things, it can be super overwhelming. But then that means maybe you need a team of people to help you do this, or maybe you need to not be the person in charge of this. I think looking at this, like, one of the saddest things, you can tell the authors put a lot of time and effort into their booths. They all brought books. A lot of them are dressed up, you know, and it breaks my heart that, I mean, you can just see that it's empty. This looks like it should be the setup for the event. This is during the event. So it just breaks my heart to see so many authors, you know, they were sold an idea that it was going to be a great way to meet people, that they were going to be able to sell books and network and all these things, and that it was going to be a great, beautiful event. And then for it to just turn out like this, it's just so sad. $10 wine. Sorry, I know wine is expensive, but and again, yeah, the ball. What is this? Everyone looks so fabulous at this ball, by the way. Like, really, everyone came out decked out to the nines for this ball. And it's so sad that, like, they were sold this idea and it was just anything but.
Attending authors that unfortunately went to a million lies. And I have tea, I have receipts, and I contacted the Baltimore Convention Center to find out if any of the information that the authors were told about where the swag bags went, where the snacks went, where the water went, why there was no signage, all of those questions.
Because that's something that's been brought up multiple times now, that all these people were supposed to get swag bags and that there was no water, the vending machines were empty, there was no food at the ball, which, again, it's like, what are you paying this $100 for? For nothing. For nothing. Apparently, told through a lot of other creators, they've been saying that the person who ran the event was saying that the convention center threw away the swag bags. We'll see
what happened, and I will be sharing that. And if you watch to the end, you will see the content creation room photo that Coco took, and I will link to her as well, because thank you so much for having this proof. So I'm just going to jump right into it and share the email that I sent to Christine at the Baltimore Convention Center, basically laying out everything that I was told, other authors were told about the event and the happenings that were going on while we were there selling to other authors and assistants, because literally maybe 80 to 100 readers showed up when we were promised high 500s, low 600s. And I do have confirmation from Grace, the event coordinator, I think maybe a day or two before the event, where she said that that was the estimated numbers in Discord. So there's that.
Imagine spending all this money and going to an event thinking you would see 500 readers, being so excited for this event, and then showing up and there are literally 30 people in the convention center that are not authors. That
Okay, pause, screenshot. And now here is the email that I sent to the Baltimore Convention Center.
Hi there, I was an attending author at this event and I wanted to see if you could provide some clarity surrounding some accusations that the BCC lost boxes of books, snacks, and swag bags. It's also circulating that the convention center wouldn't allow the organizer permission to place signage throughout the convention center. So that's what she said. So the reason why there's no signage, no one knew where to go in the convention center. So attendees, authors, whatever, they were just kind of let loose. And she said that it was due to the convention's rules, which just someone who's been to convention centers, that just doesn't seem right, but what do I know? It's also circulating that the convention center wouldn't allow the organizer permission to place signing throughout the convention center to help guide attendees to the right rooms, that they had 10 different reps throughout the duration of planning this event, and that she didn't receive final unloading entering the con information until a couple days before the event, leading to mass confusion for both vendors and attendees. Any insight you can provide would be greatly appreciated, as this isn't the first event I've attended at BCC, and I'm appalled at how this event was run by the organizer. Thank you for your time. That's a really great email. Girl, yes.
Yeah. And this was before the ball. So I didn't even get to include that she said the ball decorations were stolen.
Sorry, those are some crazy, if she even said this, right? This is all alleged. I'm not saying that any of this actually happened, or I wasn't there, you know, I don't know what was said or who said what. But that is an egregious accusation to make, especially if it's not true. Like, wow.
And Christine emailed me back, and she emailed me back fast because she was not playing about these mistruths. And this is what Christine said.
I'm going to just read it quick. I'm so sorry you had an unpleasant experience at your event this weekend. I can tell you that we didn't receive information from the event organizer about missing boxes from the event. I checked in multiple times with show management and heard nothing but positive comments about how things were going on site. Directional signage is absolutely allowed to be placed throughout the public spaces to help guide the attendees as long as it is provided by the event. We provide easels complimentary for them to be placed on if needed. So all this person had to do was print out signage saying, go this way. Actually, don't even have to print it out. You could just like write it on a piece of paper. I'm pretty sure A Million Lives Book Festival has been assigned to the same convention services manager since it was contracted. I would go nuts if I had that much turnover in my department. And lastly, unloading and unloading information is discussed at various points during the planning process, but I can check to make sure this was covered. Again, I'm so sorry your experience wasn't as expected, and I hope you return to BCC for a future event. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Yeah, she was not playing around. Also, I would be very surprised if a convention center as big as something like Baltimore Convention Center would have crappy organization. Do you know what I mean? Like, this is a convention center that does way larger events than this. You know, at those crazy large events, yeah, maybe I could see some missteps happening, but this is not that big. I don't know. It would just be surprising to me.
Why? Why blame a convention center that is known for putting on large conventions for your missteps? Your, like, I can't even fathom why you are lying. And we did receive an apology email last night. If you can even call it that, it's very much in the same vein of the apology video she put up where she said she'll issue refunds by May 30th or 31st if you request one. And I'm sorry, but that is just not good enough for me. There needs to be blanket refunds. There needs to be accountability. And like, you need to not let this woman run any more events in the future. She has another event scheduled for this fall. Hello? And she has another event at my local convention center, the Ocean City Convention Center in Maryland, for next year. And I was supposed to be an attending author at that. And I told her straight up, hell no. Like, I want a refund. I want nothing to do with you. I do not want to be associated with you. And that's that.
I can't imagine putting on an event like this with this sort of organizational issues and not rethinking, or at least, you know, being upfront about why the issues were happening in the first place. Because if she wasn't being honest about these things, then we need to re-look at how we plan events. And is this something that you should really be pursuing? Or maybe do you need to hire a new person on to help you? Because it's just going to cause a lot more mistrust. And I feel like the bookish community doesn't forget or forgive super easily, I feel like. So it's just really too bad. So those are the videos I have to react to today. This is my first reaction video. I'm sorry if it's maybe not the best the reaction video I've ever done. Let me know in the comments your thoughts about this event. I have definitely left out a lot of information. There was just so much to go over that this could probably be a 2 or even a 3-part thing if you wanted to cover every single aspect of this dumpster fire of an event. But that is what I have for you today. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to like it and subscribe to my channel for more content. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I can't wait to see you in the next one.